This podcast is brought to you by my vagina care brand, Anti-Vorta. We have wash, wipes, and sprays to fight vaginal odor, dryness, and irritation, all formulated with traditional Chinese medicinal herbs. Check us out on antivorta.us. I repeat, antevorta.us, and use my exclusive code SJ20 for 20% off for our listeners only. I'm Sara Jane Ho, and this is Mind Your Manners, where no topic is off limits as we uncover the secrets to feeling at ease in every situation. All right, Kelsey, happy Valentine's Week.
Happy Valentine's Week. How are you? Are you feeling the love?
I am feeling the love. And not that long ago, a follower asked me to please do an episode on dating differences between China and the US. So, and by the way, if there's anyone who can speak about that authoritatively, it's me, because I have a lot of dating experience in both worlds.
Perfect.
And that's dating super Chinese guys who don't speak a word of English, like my husband. And how do you think my Mandarin got so fluent? And I've dated a lot of super white guys that only speak English. So, which is not why my English got so good.
Like, that was already good.
Yeah.
Is Valentine's Day even a thing in China?
Yeah, we actually have 2 Valentine's Days in China.
Oh.
There's the February 14th one, which is very westernized. But we also have Qixi, which is the Chinese Valentine's Day, and it's in the summertime.
Oh, what's the difference?
Well, it's like a historical Chinese Valentine's Day.
Okay, versus the more just like westernized.
Yeah, versus the westernized
Interesting.
one. By the way, I just realized that my dad listens and watches intently every single episode.
So he's going to love this one.
And he's a Virgo.
Love, great.
So he's probably going to endure a lot of pain listening
Yes.
to this episode. But that's what happens when a Virgo parent has a Sagittarius child.
True. And a female. And a girl.
So close your ears, Dad. Close your ears. But I will say one thing. You only truly gain mastery in a foreign language when you are comfortable talking dirty in bed. In that language.
That is not what I was expecting you to say. I can see that, though.
Right? I mean, think about when you learn Spanish in school.
Yeah.
Right? Or for me, in Hong Kong growing up, it was learning French and German. Mm-hmm. You learn enough to read a menu, to say, où sont les toilettes?
The basic, yeah.
But to express yourself during sex,
Yeah.
in bed,
Yeah.
like sounding and feeling sexy.
Right. No,
That's
it's scary. Well, because it's
scary.
vulnerable.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
very, very vulnerable. It's next level. And firstly, there's a mental challenge to get over, right? And then secondly, you need to do it repetitively.
Right. I'm dead. That makes sense though. And feel comfortable and because I feel like speaking a new language is like I said, it's vulnerable and it's scary and you feel like stupid. So then doing it in your most vulnerable state is double whammy. Oh my gosh.
Dad,
So if you're learning a language.
Exactly. Go date in that language.
Exactly.
Yeah, Dad, I told you to close your ears.
Sorry, Dad.
So in the spirit of Valentine's Day, we are going to discuss some dating and love differences between Americans versus Chinese that will blow your mind and flip your assumptions about romance, independence, and commitment.
I love it.
The first one is on love versus stability. So dating in America, love is expected to feel right first, and then logistics come later. But in China, stability comes first, and we believe that love is expected to grow.
I mean, it reminds me of very older school, you arranged marriages and stuff, right? It's this will work on paper, make it work in your heart after. But I get it.
And even because I used to run my etiquette school in China, I remember the way my students would speak about how they chose their husbands. Of course, there were some that were madly in love with their husbands, but there are also no small number where, for example, one of them, she said, yeah, my husband is the son of our money manager, of our private banker. And my mother just said, well, since he's the son of our private banker, at least he'll be 听话, he'll be well-behaved.
Hilarious.
And he'll listen to you.
Oh my
and
gosh.
then you'll have a stable marriage. And so then she ended up marrying the guy. And
Oh
she was
my
like,
gosh.
yeah, so he's my husband.
Was she happy?
She wasn't unhappy.
Okay. Yeah, I'm always just so curious about that. I mean, I personally think that like love and marriage, you have to wake up and choose each other every single day. No matter what. That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's never like the stuff we see on TV. It doesn't work that way. But I am always curious with marriages like that or arranged marriages. Like, are they happy?
Well, but there are also marriages where in America where it's love first, you're passionately in love, but then
It
you
doesn't
get
work.
married and you're not happy.
100%.
In LA,
Yeah.
I feel like I know so many people who are that way.
Totally. Well, it's the whole like, the first year is bliss. It's like, well, yeah. And then after that, they're like,
And
wait,
then
I don't
after
even
kids-
know this person.
And now all my LA girlfriends are like, their kids are in primary school, and they're like, yeah, in a couple of years I'm gonna divorce my husband, and then I'm not gonna get married again.
Literally, I know.
Like I'll
that's
date
such a
again, but
thing.
I'm not gonna get married again.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. So in China, we think about logistics first. It's like, how will this work? And then,
It makes sense.
okay, and then and it also because dating in the States is individual, and dating in China is collective in that it's a family affair.
Oh, interesting.
It's familial. So in the U.S., dating it's very private and individual. And back in the day when I was in my 20s and dating American guys in New York City, like it wouldn't be a question of asking their parents if they could date, whoever they were dating.
Right.
In fact, their parents largely kind of just were not involved.
Right.
But in China, family opinion matters very early on.
How early? Like, how early did your husband meet your dad?
Okay, so my husband started chasing me formally
Chasing me formally.
over Christmas because I just shot my Netflix show, Mind Your Manners, in Sydney. And I remember it was December 22nd when I flew from Sydney back to Shanghai, and I had to do a 2-week hotel quarantine. And basically, as soon as I landed, my husband, made some phone calls and made sure I got like a presidential suite, and then made sure I got really well taken care of. I don't know if this is legal to say, but
I'm dead.
yeah. Okay, well, this podcast is in English, not Chinese.
Yeah,
so it's
yeah,
fine.
yeah.
We're safe. And then Chinese New Year was just a couple weeks after that, February, and he invited me to go to his hometown with him to meet his family.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's like very early on,
Very
right?
quick, yeah.
And I thought it was a little, because I'm also very Americanized, I
Right.
thought it was a little quick. So I was like, oh, my father would not be okay with me, because I was like, which day of the Chinese New Year? He was like, how's the second day? And I was like, the second day is a very important day. I was like, my father would not be okay with me going to some man's like hometown family on the second day.
the second
I was
day.
like, I can go on the 5th day of Chinese New Year.
Oh my gosh.
And my husband was like, wow, your father is so conservative. That's great. Which is actually not true at all. My dad couldn't give a shit. where I am.
He was like, whatever.
Yeah,
Go
I know.
whenever you want,
Like,
girl.
I haven't been back for Chinese New Year in so many years since boarding school.
Hilarious.
My dad's like, she could be in Africa. And like, I
Right.
wouldn't care. So yeah.
Interesting. And then so you met his family then, and then when did he
Oh, I
meet
met
your
his
dad?
everybody then. Because
Everyone.
it was like a small town of I don't know, 3 million people or
Well,
something.
you know what? Oh my God. You met a small town of 3 mil.
Oh, in China,
Like,
that's tiny.
what?
Yeah.
I thought you were making a joke.
No, I'm not making a joke.
Really?
That's a 3.5 tier city out of 4 tiers or
Wow.
5 tiers.
That's nuts.
Yeah, it's pretty low down the line. And I remember there was a period in my 20s when I was single. I was living in China, but I was dating some Hong Kong boys long distance, and then ended things with them, and then was trying to like date mainland guys. And I was back in Hong Kong at my grandma's house, and she was like, you need to stop dating mainlanders because we can't background check them. They can be from like any random city, who knows? Whereas all the Hong Kong guys you've dated, we've known their grandfather. We've known
Oh
this.
my
We know who
gosh.
their mothers are.
That makes so much sense, though. Wow, that's crazy. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I've never, I mean, like even with my boyfriend, I met his family, I don't know, within the month. Like, I went to a family reunion, and his mom was like, "Are you sure?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm going to be with you. So I would love to meet the family." I've never understood why it was such a thing in like Western culture to not involve the family. I mean, I'm very close with mine, so I always wanted mine involved. I don't know. Yeah, it's interesting. So
Well,
I'm with China on this side.
So, question: did your American future in-laws proactively ask about income, housing, and timelines, and like when you would get married? So
No.
that's where Chinese parents would come in. They'd be like, in fact, my co-founder Annie, she probably won't listen to this podcast anyway. So when she started dating her now husband, she was on a family Zoom call, like her weekly family Zoom call, and he was sitting 5 feet away, and they were like, "So how much money does he make? Wait, what? So he's retired. So how is he going to provide for you?
I kind of love it.
Is he gonna like?
That's crazy.
Is he gonna buy a new house?
Oh my gosh, that's wild. Makes sense though. I'm like, respect.
Yeah, and in China, there's this thing called the house, car, and savings requirement for men.
Okay.
There's something called the marriage house. We call it the hunfang, and it's a necessity for a man to provide a house at the time of the marriage.
Whoa.
Like he needs to be able to buy a house or a down payment on a house and a car, and that's more sort of a symbol of financial stability. Mm-hmm. And he needs to give a caili, which is a bride price. So he
like, what is that?
So this is beyond physical assets, right? The husband is supposed to provide cash or in the form of jewelry.
Okay.
To money. It's actually money given to the woman's family.
Oh, to the family.
To the parents.
Wow.
And it's between 10 to 30,000 US in cash.
Wow.
And in wealthier provinces, so like Zhejiang province, where my husband is from, which has the second highest number of billionaires after Silicon Valley, by the way, in the world. Yeah.
So his price was higher.
So those bride prices are expected to be super high. But it causes a lot of
so
financial strain on men.
Oh, I'm sure. I mean, to me, that's very antiquated, right? Like if you think of it in Western terms, I mean, even my friends now who are getting married, it's become less and less of a thing for like the bride's parents to pay for the wedding. It's like that used to be such a tradition, right. And now it's not really as much. But that's like, it's so old school like that. But I kind of like it. I'm like, yeah, Danny, like you can get my mom and dad. That's wow. That's interesting.
That's why there's a running joke now in China, because people always used to prefer having sons. But now it's so expensive to have a son because, you buy the house for them and you pay the bride price. And there's a running joke now, people prefer having daughters to having sons, because they say that having a daughter is China Merchant Bank, where you bring in money, right?
Oh,
and having a son is China Construction Bank, because you have to like pay out all this money.
That is crazy. That's so funny. Like when your parents got together, was it, I mean, has it always been like this? Was it like that for them?
My parents started dating when they were studying in London, and they were from Hong Kong. And that was the 80s, or they started dating maybe in the 70s. So they were already actually very westernized. But my mother's parents did not want her to marry my dad because my dad was divorced.
Oh, interesting.
And it was and my mom actually had to go against her family wishes to marry my dad. Wow. So that says a lot about my mom.
Yeah.
And you know
Especially for then, that time.
Yeah,
wow.
in the 70s and 80s.
Yeah.
And then actually my father ended up being an amazing spouse. Out of my grandparents, all their other kids, like they all got divorced, or unhappy marriages, But my dad was like an amazing spouse.
Your mom was a smart lady.
And,
also, I mean, like you said, it speaks so much to her really just pushing back on that and going with what she wanted in her gut.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
And even now, still in China, it's kind of looked down on to be divorced, whereas in America, it's like everybody's on their second or third spouse, right?
Totally.
And I dated a guy. It was actually one of my students set me up with her brother-in-law.
Okay.
I get set up a lot in China before I got married.
That's so funny.
And by my students, my etiquette students.
That kind of makes sense, though. Yeah,
they would chaperone the dates as well.
Oh my gosh!
They'd be like, "Are you teacher Ho? Are you single?" And I'd be like, "Why do you ask?" Like,
hilarious.
I have someone for you, a relative, and it sounded like a distant relative. And then when I showed up at the thing, it was her husband's brother.
Oh my gosh! They're like, "You're in the family now." That's funny.
And I ended up dating that guy for quite a few months, but I found out later on, and he denied this to my face, that he'd been divorced. And to me, I was like, just tell me you've been divorced. It's not a big deal.
Right, you're like, I don't care.
Yeah,
but
I
most
don't care.
People maybe
my dad's
have.
been divorced. Like, I spent so much time in America. But he just flat out lied to my face. He was like, no, I don't know what you're talking about. I was like, wait, but we have mutual friends.
You're like, I know, I can ask. That's crazy.
And yeah. And
it's such a stigma.
Such a stigma and such a sense of shame, especially for Northern
Chinese.
That's sad. And I was, at this point, I was like, listen, like, do you take me for a fool? Like, we need to break up, because if you could not even tell me that, to my face, but you're telling me you want to be serious with me. No.
Don't believe you.
No.
Wow, that's crazy. Huh, interesting.
Yeah.
I'm like, do dating apps exist in China? Is that a silly
Not
question?
really, because Grindr exists.
Okay.
Actually, a China
That's
friend
hilarious.
of mine bought Grindr, so it's actually now Chinese owned. Yeah, he bought it like a
No
couple years
way.
ago. Yep.
Wow.
And so I think the like gay guys in China use it
Yeah.
a lot, but otherwise, no. Because like, China is just too big, and it's like my grandma said, it's impossible to background check anyone. There's no LinkedIn or that kind of thing where it's like over 1 billion people.
Wow. Yeah.
And a lot of people are hustlers, and you just don't know where they spring out from.
Where they spring out from.
It's not like you go on Instagram and you can see mutual friends and, oh, he went to school here. Okay, then I know somebody who
Sure.
went to school there.
Yeah.
Not like that at all.
Dang.
So yeah,
Interesting.
no dating apps. It's too dodgy. Okay, next. Here's another fun difference. The are we exclusive versus assumed exclusivity. So in China, dating, once you start dating someone, that implies that you're definitely exclusive.
And what does dating look like?
Like even going on
dates?
Wow. Yeah,
Wow.
even like a kiss, then you're not going on dates with other people.
Wow, yeah.
Whereas in the States, you can
not
be
like that.
dating multiple people at the same time, and it's
Totally.
not until you have the are we exclusive, are we boyfriend girlfriend conversation.
Yep. I was literally just having this conversation with my friend who's dating around, and she's like, "Oh my God, it feels so weird." I'm like, "Yeah, well."
Is she foreign?
No. She's
she's
from
American.
here. She's from here, but she was like, "Yeah, I mean, unless I have the like exclusivity conversation." I was like, "Yeah." But it's a very strange thing, I think. Like even when I was single and doing that, it didn't feel
Yeah,
good
yeah,
to me.
Yeah, it doesn't feel. I mean, I've been single and done that too, and it doesn't feel good to me either.
No.
In Europe, it's actually more similar to Asia.
Oh, Europe is really?
Yeah. They're not like dating 5 people at the same time and then having the are we boyfriend girlfriend conversation.
I would assume opposite actually from Europe. I would think Europeans are more like
Sleeping around?
or just like dating multiple people.
Not really.
Interesting.
Like my French friends or German friends, as soon as they let's say sleep with someone or make out with someone, like and they see that person again, then they're just pretty much dating that person.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah. What is LA like? Not great, I've heard.
LA is I would say everyone's dating a million people. But again, like that was never how I thought of dating. So it to me, I'm like, wait, we like made out and we've gone on multiple dates. Like, aren't we a thing? And no, people, but it's become the whole like, what's the word?
Situationship?
Thank you. That everyone uses now. It's like, no, that's my situationship. Because until you have the like, are we boyfriend, girlfriend conversation, that's why so many girls' brains get so messed up because they're like, we're in a relationship because it feels like a freaking relationship.
Yeah.
And it's not to the guys.
Yeah.
It's so interesting. I think it's such a like easy cop out for these guys now that like that's the culture. They're like, we're not dating, but they still get all the benefits,
Yeah.
And sometimes it's the girls doing it to the guys. It's not just the guys.
But biologically, it does harm girls, right? Because we
Absolutely.
bond after sex.
Yes. So actually, Mark Groves, who you would love, he should come on the show, but he talks about how he's a relationship expert. When you have sex, the hormone that gets released stays in women's brains for a week. For guys, it's 24 hours. And so women like have that feeling of attachment over the week. And the guys, they move on almost instantaneously. So yeah, it's very interesting.
That's why in China, people wait to have sex.
Yeah.
Like they're not really. I mean, obviously there are people who sleep
don't,
around.
yeah.
But traditionally speaking, like sex is a really big deal in China.
Yeah. I mean, I even remember with some of my like situationships that I couldn't break. I was working with Mark at the time, and he was like, "You gotta stop hooking up because you can't think clearly."
Yeah.
Like he's like, literally, your brain cannot think clearly if you're still hooking up with the person. It's all fascinating, really.
It is, and I think that for a lot of people, we try to think, "Oh no, I'll be fine," right? Or I don't care, or I don't care. But actually, we're just not really listening to our inner self.
Yeah.
And not really respecting ourselves,
Yep.
right?
Absolutely.
So, because I've also been there,
Totally.
in my 20s.
Oh my gosh.
But like as I get older and more soulful and listen to myself more, that's well, I'm also married now, so those days have gone.
But no, but totally. And I think it creates a lot of the like anxious attachment. At least I know that was it for me when I was in situationships like that I wasn't staying true to myself and honoring myself. I became so anxiously attached because it was exactly what you said. My soul was wanting one thing and then my brain and whatever body was doing another. And so I was so anxious. And you become anxiously attached to the person, and then it's a situationship, so they ghost you or they take long to respond or whatever, and you're freaking out.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so awful.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible. Listeners, women, don't have sex too soon.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
and so,
I mean, unless you know that he's...
or just be upfront with what you
be
want.
upfront with what you want.
And
know
honest
what
with
you want.
Exactly,
And then
being honest
and then
with
express
yourself.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So wait, so situationships, I'm sure they still do exist in China, but less, you would say.
Yeah, they do, but it's still more traditional. And also people get married much younger. So there's a pressure to, especially from the parents, to like, hurry up, get married and have kids.
Right.
Like in their 20s, you know?
Wow.
Which is just very, very young.
Yeah.
So as you can guess, I mean, I have a lot of Chinese girlfriends too, and they're not necessarily happily married either. But
Yeah.
neither are my American friends. Okay. Moving on to emotional expression. In the States, people like to have open verbal affirmation. I love you, right? Emotional processing is very central. In China, we don't really say I love you that much. It's more, love is more shown through actions. So reliability, consistency, and practical care.
Which I prefer. I think a lot of women actually prefer that and they don't know they prefer that, which is why doing your love languages is very important.
Yes, exactly. So I'm guessing maybe more Americans are words of affirmation.
Probably.
And then Chinese are like acts of service or something.
I like acts of service and gifts.
Oh yeah, Chinese like gifts too.
Yep.
Yep. Early on in the relationship, buy me a Louis Vuitton bag.
Honestly, I'm like, just give me a freaking matcha in the morning. I'm happy.
Oh, you're very low maintenance.
I am low maintenance. And then you can get me a bag later on.
Yeah, when I started dating my husband, very early on, he was always buying me, every week he'd buy me a luxury bag,
Wow.
a designer bag, and that's not, I mean,
That's not really your...
yeah, I'm a Sagittarius, you know, like it's not really my love
No.
language.
You want experience.
Yes,
and
fun
yes.
experiences and like this and that. And also, I don't know about his taste in the designer bags.
Well, that's always the problem.
yeah.
That's always the problem.
I mean, I was like,
You're like, did you text one of my friends?
you know,
Can you ask
So-
for help?
yeah. And then,
That's funny.
yeah. And finally I tell him like, no need.
Save that for something else.
Save that for something else. Also in China, like making soup is a huge form of love.
Same with like Latin cultures too.
Yeah,
making
like food
Yeah.
and I actually remember when my dad started dating my stepmother, and I kind of made this like not a very nice comment. I was not a very good stepdaughter in the beginning. I was like 21.
Yeah, you were
or 22.
And you were hurting and
Yeah, I was not in a good place at
Yeah.
all. And I made some snide comment to my dad. I was like, oh, well, she doesn't even cook Chinese soup for you, so how much can she love you? And you know what? I have to admire my stepmother for this. From once she heard that, she started making him soup.
Wow.
And now, and anytime I
she
go back
makes
to
it-
Hong Kong, you see him on my Instagram stories.
makes it for you.
She makes me soup and she brings it over to my apartment,
Oh.
and it's there on the stove.
My Italian grandma was like that. Every time we came over to her, always soup on the stove. And it's my favorite
Yeah.
thing. It's the best. It's a
Yeah.
form of love, right?
It's a form of love.
Yeah.
Form of love.
I love that she did that though.
I know, because she didn't have to. She could have gone the other way and been like, entitled bitch.
Right.
I'm
right.
never making soup for you or your father.
But yeah, interesting. She was like, no, went the other way. Good for her.
Yeah.
What does Michelle Obama say? She said, when they go low, we go high. Thank you, Michelle.
Oh, and actually, it makes me think of something funny. In Beijing, there was this lovely guy who was like chasing me. And for about a month, every weekday, he would send his driver to drop off different super nourishing soups with like rare ingredients at my etiquette school.
Oh my gosh.
Every day. And my assistants would be looking out the window and be like, oh
Amazing.
my gosh, like his driver's here. And then one of them would go down and like, bring
Get
the
it, yeah.
soup up. Yeah.
That's amazing. I love that though. I think that's
It's quite romantic, actually.
it is. It's like, oh, I care about you and your body and your health and how you feel. I don't know. I really love that.
Yeah.
That's interesting though. They're all waiting.
Yeah, I know.
That's cute.
Didn't end up dating him, but turned him into a friend.
There you go.
Yeah.
Smart.
Okay, so another difference between U.S. and China is the speed of commitment. And in the U.S., people date for a really long time without necessarily any like clear outcome or goal or whatever. But in China, once things are serious, once it's like, okay, we're exclusive, timelines move very, very quickly.
Interesting.
And that's because there are a lot of social pressures around age and having to provide grandkids, and then fertility, and really just a lot of family expectations. There's so much pressure from parents. It's like when you're in school, your parents are like, don't date, don't date, don't date. And then the day you graduate, they're like, why aren't you married?
I would lose my mind. They're like, why aren't you married and where are our grandkids?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah, I don't think I'd like that. No, thank you. No pressures.
But I have to say, me and my husband, from first date to legally wed was 7 months. Pretty quick.
Wow, that is
Pretty
quick.
In fact, if I had not been locked down in Shanghai during the 60-day lockdown where they locked down 24 million people,
Oh, yeah.
we probably would have got married in like 5 months.
Wow.
Yeah.
But that was
2020.
from you guys. I feel like your dad doesn't feel like much of a pusher.
Well, you know what's funny is when I started dating my husband, one day I called my dad and I said, Dad, I think I found the man I'm going to marry. And my dad said, finally.
Hilarious.
And then he called all his friends, was like, I finally found someone willing to marry my daughter.
Oh my gosh. I can't wait to meet your dad. And whiskey.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Yep. My dad is really, really cute. Okay, the other difference is independence versus interdependence. So in the States, independence is romanticized and needing someone can feel like weakness. Whereas in China, interdependence is expected. And needing each other is normal.
Huh.
You know, it's funny.
I'm like, keep going.
Yeah. So when, obviously, me and my husband have an unconventional marriage for China because he let me, when we got married, I thought I was going to be in China for life. And then a few years later, I was like, I kind of want to go to LA and chase my dreams. And he didn't even hesitate. He said, people need to have dreams.
Oh.
If this is your dream, you got to go.
That's amazing.
And
But yeah, very probably not normal.
not normal at all. And, you know, I'm like in Pennsylvania on air for QVC selling Antivorta, or I'm like here and there. And I posted on my Red Note, my little red book, which is China's Instagram, basically. And all his friends who are like 50-year-old, like, you know, middle-aged Chinese businessmen also follow me.
Yeah, of course.
And they'll be like at dinner together and they'll be like looking through and they'll be like, you need to control your wife. She's here,
funny.
she's there.
Yeah.
And my husband will say, because he tells me this, he's like, do you think she's controllable?
Ah!
If I even
Nope.
tried to control her, she would have never married me.
True. Oh, I love him. I love that. Yeah, that's such a rare thing. I mean, even in the States, that's a rare thing to have
Yeah.
a partner who like lets you shine and do your thing because there's so often egos involved, jealousy comes with that, all that. Like, I love that.
And especially in a very patriarchal society like China.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where people are also in his ear saying things.
Yeah, yeah. And by the way,
Interesting.
I see my husband's friends and the way they treat their wives. Like their wives are housewives with anxiety.
Oof. Yeah, no.
And then the husbands are just ordering them around. Like, oh, get more rice for so-and-so. And like, da-da-da-da-da-da.
I would last probably
know?
30 seconds.
And yeah, they're driving Bentley SUVs and
But are
wearing
they
like,
happy?
da-da-da,
No.
but no.
That's crazy.
You know what's interesting is that if you invite somebody to a social meal in the States, it's expected that they'll bring their plus one, right? Expected they'll bring their spouse, especially if it's a group dinner or something.
Yeah.
In China, it's expected that they will not bring their spouse.
Oh, really?
And even for, I've done things like New Year's Eve dinners and this and that and invited my etiquette students. And I'm like, well, do you guys want to bring your husbands? And they're like, no. I'm like, it's it's December 31st. No, we'll have more fun without him. No. Yeah.
Oh, my, that's funny.
And there have been so many instances where I knew a husband and a wife separately for years and had no idea they were married to each other.
No way.
And then I'm like, oh, I guess they're married to each other.
What do you make of that? That's super interesting.
It is very interesting. It's because there's, especially because China is a very complicated society. And so there's a lot of hustlers and scammers and just, it's just there's a lot of gray area and you don't know what people's intentions are. So it's almost a form of protection to not bring your spouse.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, to not expose your spouse to that. And also, you don't know what kind of event you're being invited to. And so if you don't totally understand or it's not clear, then you just don't bring your spouse. It's very interesting.
Yeah. Because I feel like in the States, I mean, I'll bring Danny for like an emotional buffer, or at least you have one person. If you're going to something you don't know, you're like, oh God, it's my safe place.
And everybody's bringing their spouse.
Right, exactly. But that's,
And in China, there's this term called 各玩各, each to their own. And so a lot of husbands and wives, their social lives are very, very different.
I kind of love that.
Yeah, so the wives are hanging out with their girlfriends, and then the husbands
I think that's actually so healthy.
It actually is healthy because then you get kind of your own space as well.
Absolutely. Well, and I think you and I are both, I mean, my boyfriend's not in China, but he's in New York, and I think that it's been actually beautiful for our relationship because you can do your own separate things, and then you come together. It's really hard, but it's also, it fosters the individuality, and then you come together versus the codependence.
Yeah. All right. That is enough love and romance for today, guys. Have a happy Valentine's week. Make sure you stick around for next week's Chinese New Year episode, which is really fun. It's titled The Zodiac Beliefs That Shape Birth Rates in China.
Wow. People are going to get angry.
I know. Because that Instagram reel that I posted from episode a few weeks ago about how Chinese parents skip giving birth the year of the goat, which is 2027, that really popped off. I think it's at like 2.2 million.
Yeah, 2 point something, yeah.
Yeah. So, and then everyone's like, can you give a lowdown on the Chinese zodiac? So I'm listening to you guys. We will be. And also, since it's Year of the Horse, I just launched a feng shui collection of art pieces so that you can bring in good fortune this year. We have the horse in two different, and this is why you should look at the video. This is the celestial horse. And it's really pretty. It's red with actual gold gilded clouds on it. And then the other one is the classic horse. Kelsey, maybe you can look that up. Yeah. And these porcelain horses, they're feng shui objects to activate momentum, opportunity, blessings, and abundance in your space.
They're beautiful.
They're really beautiful. And when you order them, you can order them. It's a collab I'm doing with Antivorta. So you can order it from my Instagram link in bio or on antivorta.us website. There are also instructions on how to place it on your desk or which corner of your room to really boost your luck for Year of the Horse. And by the way, the red one is limited edition, so get yours now.
I'm going to get a couple of them. Yeah. And they say, Sarah, it's so cute.
Yeah,
Look
on the
at
bottom,
you.
Sarah Jane Ho,
Antivorta.
Antivorta.
Love.
All right, guys, visit my YouTube channel to watch the full episode. And if you want to support the show, please leave a rating and a review. It'll help new listeners discover us. I will be very, very grateful. And of course, check out some vagina care, Antivorta, for care down there. And use the code SJ20 for 20% off. If you are entering menopause or you know somebody who is, this might just be the thing that you or she needs. Thanks for tuning in to Mind Your Manners. This is your host and Eastern Wellness Life Guide, Sara Jane Ho. And remember, no matter what life throws at you, with me in your ear, you got this.